Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, HG Easy SR Foxhound. Now I've bought this kit, or had this kit for some long time. It was like, I think more than a few months ago. I decided to get it, but it took me a long time to actually start building this kit, because these are one of those kits I did buy, but we're also kind of, how should I say, like kind of hesitated to build and review it. Mostly because for the fact that it has a lot of stuff to show. So, because of that, I'm going to just say this right off the bat. This review is going to be a long review. It's not going to be a short review. It's going to be kind of longer than usual. So, keep that in mind. So, today I'm going to do this a little bit different. So, today I'm going to show the leftover parts and then show you guys the articulation of the base form of the EasySR and then attach all its equipment. And so yeah, so first of all, we have the EasySR in its like base form, which I've taken everything out, or pretty much put it on its basic format, and here are all of its equipment. So I will be talking about these after I show you guys the leftover parts, because this kit comes with a ton of leftover parts, which I know a lot of you guys actually do prefer to have a lot of leftover parts for customization purposes. So first of all, this is not just these are the two ones that I kind of like cut off. This one I think I accidentally cut off, but yeah, this was not supposed to be cut off, but this is a leftover part which I have no idea where it's from. And then here we have, which is also technically a leftover part. So basically, you can still make the basic beam rifle of the EasySR. I forgot all their names, but you know, because in the one of them actually had a beam rifle, which instead of having the long barrel, it had like a short, you know, end tip here, because you can actually take this part out and then attach this, which makes that you know, that small rifle. So yeah, it's kind of stiff, so you can technically make that, but I decided to go with this because obviously this is like the unique weapon of the Foxhound. Alright, so that's one built, and let's talk about the other. So I have a full box of leftover parts, so I'm gonna go plate by plate. So I cut some plates off because to save space, so just keep that in mind. Here we have some leftover polycaps, nothing too special. This was like, you know, your typical leftover polycap count. Here we have, I'm just gonna take out these from out random, so keep that in mind. So here we have some red parts. We have a side skirt. We have, I think this belongs to feet, arm, shoulder. So I'm gonna guess this is actually a leftover part from the Gundam Easy 8, the HGUC version, because obviously the EasySR is like kind of based on the Gundam Ground Type and the Easy 8. So obviously we get some leftover parts from them. Okay, here we have another red piece. So okay, so I think this is the head. So we get the head front and back. And then we get the faceplate, and then yeah, I think this is also another head piece. So yeah, I think we have the head of the Easy 8. Also, we have a antenna of the Easy 8, and then these are the leg covers for the beam saber storage, I believe. Right here we have another white piece. Now these pieces, I believe they're more like for connection pieces for other weapons, but yeah, I believe these are just leftover parts. Here we have a small brown piece. We have a thruster part effect left over. This part I have no idea what that is. Another small thruster effect part. Here we have another red piece. Yeah, I have no idea what these are. So this one I'm not too sure. This one, I think this is this is technically a leftover part, but I'm just gonna take this off right away because, yeah, because the EasySR does have some aspects that we don't usually see in other kits. I'm just gonna take this part off for now. This part I have no idea as well. And then yeah, this looks like that's supposed to go on the shoulder or something, but yeah. Okay, here we have a gray piece. Now technically I believe you can make the machine gun that the Gundam Ground Type uses, but I believe the one thing that you'll be lacking is the back clip holster kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the stock of it. This one is part of a beam rifle, which once again you are able to technically make the original beam rifle of the Gundam Ground Type if you want to, but I don't think many people would do that. Here we have the end tip, we have the handle. So yeah, I believe there is an ammo clip here somewhere. I've seen it before. And here we have another thruster leftover piece. So anything special. Here we have the original, I think this is the original front skirt of the Gundam EZ8. And then let's see, we have this part. I think this actually belongs to the Maximus, because there's a hobby shop exclusive version of this, which is basically the same kit but in blue with a different style head, and I think this is the V fin of that kit. So yeah, so we have that. And here we have this part. Once again, I think this is the same part that I accidentally cut off. And here we have another red piece. Once again, we get another shoulder of the Easy. Yeah, this is another double repeat. Side skirt, shoulder, feet, arms. So yeah, and this one I think this is the original chest piece of the EZ8. This part, yeah, here we have another ammo clip. So yeah, you can make the machine gun if you want to do so, but of course it's going to be in red. I mean, the ammo clip is going to be red, and you'll be missing the back stock. Okay, here's another. Oh yeah, here's another piece I accidentally cut off. This is the original chest part for the EZ8. This is that part which has that small Vulcan or machine gun on the chest. So yeah. And then let's see. We have this part, which I'm not sure if this actually is supposed to be the EZ8 or just another head part for the EZ-SR stuff. But yeah, we have the eye and the chin piece. Once again, even though you get all these pieces, I don't think you actually get the stickers. Well, I mean, you don't get the eye stickers. I mean, so yeah. Here we have the part which I forgot to cut off. So here we have another. I believe this head is now more of the EZ-SR squad. So yeah, we have those heads. Here we have another piece, which I am not too sure what that is. Here we have more pieces. This is a knee piece, I believe. And this looks like it's a shoulder piece. This one, I have no idea. Here we have another head, which once again, I believe belongs to the original EZ-SR. And here we have another one. This one is I believe this is the head for that, radar type one. And then I believe we have another front skirt. And that's pretty much it for the leftover parts. So that was a lot of leftover parts. So if you love like customizing, or if you want to make a red EZ8 for some reason and you don't want to paint, I guess this is your kit. Alright, so I'm going to put it off the rotating stand, and let's talk about components. So first of all, as usual, you obviously get the EZ-SR Foxhound. Now, I'm not sure what's with the name Foxhound, and this kit, or this mobile suit, was never shown in the anime as far as I know, and then I don't think this was actually, I'm not sure if this was supposed to be in a manga as well. I think this is like one of those kits that has like what if situations, but according to the manual, there is kind of a story, but it's in Japanese, so I cannot tell. But its main concept or project was to make this into like a 3-in-1 kit, so which is why it has all these stuff. Alright, so let's talk about components. So we have the base kit. Here we have a sticker sheet. As you can see, I did not use everything. Some stickers I just had to use because they were, number one, they were very hard to color at the first place. Number two, some of them, yeah, like the cameras, I did decide to use them. The ones I colored were like, yeah, the stickers are not gonna work, so which is why I colored them. This black one over here is something I did not use on purpose, because I felt like if I use this, it's going to be it would look out of place. So I'll get to that later. Okay, so we have its unique beam rifle. Yeah, very long barrel. So this kind of reminds me of that one type of weapon from G Reconquista, but yeah, yeah, the G Arcane, yeah. The G Arcane's rifle, but yeah, it still has the basic. It's still the same build. We have a sticker on the scope. It's just that the end tip is just, this. Come on, go in. Okay, and then we have the cannon that the Gundam Ground type uses. Now I'm not sure if this is the exact same cannon, but I might need to check. But judging by how the handles are, it's not exactly the same, and the ammo clip does not pop out. And here we have the connecting part, which you can move in and out, and you can take the barrel out, but mine is kind of stuck at the moment. You can see I was kind of pulling that out, trying to pull that out, but it's stuck in there at the moment. Here we have the missile launcher, which I kind of do like, but if there's one thing I have like a gripe about these kind of stuff, is that they never usually give, or I wish they would sometimes make these missile launchers which can actually open up. So yeah, I don't think I've actually seen such a gimmick yet. But yeah, this is a pretty cool missile launcher, very compact, and this one actually connects to the shoulder right over there. So this is actually the main reason I cut off this part. So you can see this part's covered up. The main reason is that even on this shoulder it has this polycap. All you need to do is like get this piece and then cover the shoulder up in this sense. But once you put this in, it's not going to come out that easily. So that's why I just wanted to show you guys an example. So yeah, that's that. And then we have the shield. Very nice. I do like this extra scope or scanner, and really cool. And then we have the Yajima company or logo kind of thing on the shield, and there's one on the chest. So the shield wise, it's your standard Gundam ground type shield with another extra center on here. And of course the connection is way more simpler. It's not based on the new ones we actually got. And here we have only another fists for the left hand. So the current hands we have is two multi-purpose hands, one left hand and one trigger finger, which I actually accidentally forgot to mention, which I just decided to put it here. And the weapon itself has the pull and peg system, so yeah, it's not going to be wobbly. And then here we have the Beam Saber storage rack. And you get two Beam Saber effect parts. I just wanted to show you guys that. Yeah, you get two beams. Oh yeah, you get two Beam Saber effect parts, so you can see one just popped out, so my bad. So you can technically put this on the arm, or I believe it does actually attach onto these armor guards as well, which I will show you guys later. And here we have the backpack, which has the radar equipment and some grenades. Yeah, this part was pretty tricky because I mean, moving this part is pretty tricky because there's like multiple moving parts and connections. So yeah, and you can see where most of those green camera stickers went. Okay, now let's get on to the articulation of this kit and to point out what part is a sticker and what part is not. So let's start with the head. Now the head is definitely a unique design. I actually do like this, and the reason why I bought this is because of the head. Like, I really like that head. And then I did want to try the EZSR, but the problem is with myself is that I don't like buying. I mean, when I'm building something, I don't like to choose. I don't like choosing like which one to build. So to just avoid that situation, I decided to buy this as well. Granted, I could have bought 3 EZSRs, but that's also a lot of money, and then that would be really managing the leftover parts is going to be tricky. Okay, so for the head, there's a lot of stickers on here. I believe there's like 5 or 6 stickers on here as well. Yeah, 5. So we have the 2 front head cameras, 1 and 2, and then here I'm not sure if these are the actual eyes, but I assume it is. So we have 2 here. That's 4. And then on the back of the head, there's another one. So that's 5 cameras already. So the head can go down that much, up that much, and then 360 twist. I'm not going to say it's possible. I mean, you can kind of force it, but you can see the chin is kind of colliding. Okay, so the head was okay. Sticker-wise, no big deal. Let's look at the body first. So currently on the chest, you can see the Yajima company logo there. Once again, this is also a sticker. I'm not sure if this was really nice, a okay thing to do, but I think a normal, the transparent decal version might have worked better. But hey, who am I to judge? And also, that doesn't mean it's bad. When you look at it in close, obviously it's obvious, but when you look at it from like far away, it's okay. So the main body, or should I technically the chest part, was kind of the main issue of this kit. It requires, well, I'm not going to say a lot, but the stickers are terrible. So basically, you can see this white section right over here on the front of the chest. That part I colored, obviously you can tell, with a white Gundam marker. So you have to use a sticker, which is one of those stickers that you have to wrap around all these places, and I hated doing that. So I colored those parts white. So I think it turned out okay, but I might need to do a few coating, a few more applications, because you can see that, like, you can see the fading on them. And here on the Vulcans, now those were supposed to be stickers, gray stickers, and then on the front, which can obviously the Vulcans actually popping out, they expect you to put a sticker on top of them. Yeah, that's not gonna happen with me. So I just decided to color everything in a metallic silver, and I think it turned out okay. Of course, there's still a few parts I need to like clean up, but yeah. So the chest part was the main like issue for me. But other than that, the articulation itself, it's okay. I mean, you don't really get much of an ab crunch. It's pretty much stuck in there, and you don't get a 360 twist. So once again, yeah. But considering the type of this mobile suit, I don't think that those kind of movements are necessary. So let's look at the shoulders. The shoulders are your ball jointed, moving forward and backward shoulders. So that's no big deal. And since it's on a ball joint, you can go 360 for now, because if you have something on the backpack, that's a whole different story. Other than that, we still have the basics. We have, I thought we did have the basics, but never mind. The arms can't go 90 degrees to the side due to something's actually colliding in the inside over there. And then we have a 360 twist, and then a nice double jointed bend, and we have the arm guard, and you can see there's actually a hole there. Now for the right arm, it's actually meant for the cannon, but I think you can actually attach this onto the yeah, it does actually attach, but keep in mind the peg on this thing is kind of short, so it's not the perfect connection, but once you actually have it in, it kind of feels pretty firm. So yeah, I just want to mention that. Okay, so we've seen the arm. Let's look at the waist section. Now the waist section. Now obviously these white sections on the front skirt are stickers, but those weren't too bad. And then yeah, I'll get into that later. The front skirts actually come in one of those single pieces, but you can divide them, which I actually did this time, so you can do that. And then the back skirt does not move as well, and I think this is identical as to the Gundam EZ8. I could be wrong. And then the side skirts move a little bit. So one of those black stickers I did not use were for these. So you can see these squarish parts, right? They expect you to you cover up this with a black sticker, despite having that small gap over there. So I decided, like, no, that's not gonna work for me. And also, I kind of felt like, this kit is overall like red and white, and to have a black sticker there, or to color this black, I thought it would look out of place. So that's why I decided not to use that. Okay, and then let's look at the leg. So the leg articulation is pretty good. I mean, you have a nice side swivel going on, and then the main connection is a peg, and then the leg can go forward 90 degrees, and has a nice double jointed bend. Backwards, not so much, but you can almost go 90 degrees to the side. And then on the knee sections, they tell you to use the different ones, because this one is mostly for the kneeling pose, which once again I'm having trouble with. But this part, you can see, has this white section, which is actually a sticker, believe it or not. And then the feet were pretty interesting. So number one, despite being based on the Gundam ground type or EZ8, and there's supposed to be a beam saber there, they decide to cover that up with this armor piece. And then the feet are kind of, yeah, they're not high heels, which definitely is a big plus for me. But also, once again, they're kind of shorter than your standard Gundam feet that we usually see. So yeah, and then we have all these engravings on the feet. So yeah, and still have your typical ball jointed feet with the toe bend aspect, but pivot not so good. I mean, when you're doing this, when it's like this, it doesn't pivot so much than you think. So yeah, you might have some hard time posing time to time. Okay, now we've seen the basic articulation. Now let's equip this one by one. So let's go from the front, and I'll put the backpack at the last. So let's start with the most easier ones. The missile launcher. So we have a peg over there, and obviously all we need to do is peg onto the shoulder. Now usually we would expect that these kind of stuff would be on the backpack, but this one, not so much. This actually connects to the shoulder, and I believe this part is supposed to rotate, but mine is very stiff that it doesn't rotate at all. So yeah, I mean, or the connection kind of made it look like it could rotate, but I could be wrong. So we have the shoulder on there. So if you have another one of these, I assume you can actually attach it on the other on the other side. Blah. Okay, so here we have the shoulder, and before I actually go on to the shield, I want to mention that these are, if you've seen the show, these are like electrical knuckles, right? So you can actually do that, but I really don't like the way how you have to do this. Is that you have to take this part off, and then when it was like this, you have to flip it up and do this. And these red parts actually fall off pretty easily, so be careful not to lose them. And then you just need to reattach it like this. And I really don't like how that connection is. There's still some leftover space inside there. I mean, the peg does not go in entirely, so once again, it's kind of easy for it to fall off. But once again, if you have it, you can use the electrical knuckle. Okay, I'm going to take this part off and then reattach it. So before I actually show you guys the shield, according to the manual, you are able to put this beam saber rack onto the arm like this, but it's really up to your choice at this point. So If you actually bought an EZSR, not this one, but the retail version, I say like you can make the 3 EZSRs if you want to do so, or you make your own version. Okay, and then oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys the back. Now the back part, we have 5 holes. This is my first time seeing such case, so I thought this was really interesting. So I assume you can put pretty much any backpack on this thing if it's possible. Although I don't know for sure. Okay, so we have put the shield on. The shield, very simple. We have a small peg, small hole, attach, and there we go. Oh, and obviously this sensor is a sticker. So yeah, despite all this stuff, the arm doesn't actually get too heavy, or it doesn't actually drop down by its own. So for the other arm, okay, you can see because the feet being a little bit smaller and shorter, it might be tricky to make it stand. So here we have this thing, the cannon, which just directly attaches come on, to the arm. So once again, I do have some questions like, can the arm actually survive the the recoil? I mean, granted, the weapon does have like a spring system, I assume, to survive the recoil, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's still going to be pretty powerful. And here we have this. Now, the trigger finger, the issue I'm having is that the normal hands connect very well. This one is very wobbly. You can see it doesn't really want to stay. So I don't know why, but I guess I got unlucky. And then finally, we're going to attach the backpack. This one only uses 2 pegs, so yeah, it's not the 5 peg thing. So see, it connects. So yeah, despite how the backpack looks, it does connect and disconnect pretty easily. So once again, here we have everything on. So obviously, you're not going to be able to rotate this arm 360. Same goes for this arm because of the backpack. So, and this being very wobbly, I'm just going to take it out because yeah, I was kind of disappointed by that hand. So yeah, we have everything on the oh boy, yeah. So yeah, as you can see, it's not the shield that fell off, it's the knuckles that fell off. So yeah, I really don't like how they did with the connections on that part. So yeah, once you have everything on, it's very tricky for it to make it stand properly. So you can see it's very back heavy, so you're gonna need to like balance it up front. So you can see it's standing on its own, but it's doing that, one of those tilting things. So yeah, once you have everything on, it's okay, of course, except for those arms. Like, yeah, they're kind of falling off a little bit easier than I expected. So we have the backpack. We have more stickers here, actually. We have the silver ones on the radar, and then 3 black ones there, and then we have like 3 on each side. And here we have more grenades. These wing sections, I believe, do like kind of rotate on their own. Kind of like, I wouldn't say 360, but a good amount. So yeah, I believe for the EZSR squad, like there's this one unit that you can actually attach the back of the head, the back of the head to this part. This part is covered up, so yeah. But you can kind of make it go up forward if you want to do so. But this one, yeah. But I don't know. This kind of makes it look more complicated. And for realisticness or like combat capabilities, I'm not sure if this is really the ideal version, because there's like so much stuff going on with the mobile suit. It's going to hinder its like movement speed, and then if you're fighting in an Amazon, you're going to get tangled up. But anyway, that's pretty much it. If you want to have something that's like heavy loaded, you can buy this. Of course, granted, you could buy the EZSR and like make your own version of it. Of course, if you buy the EZSR, you're not going to have this head and then that special, oops, sorry about that special rifle here. So yeah. But once again, keep that in mind. This is kind of sticker heavy, and it does have some balance issues, so keep that in mind. But if you like it, definitely go for it, because this one's the more easier one to get. The Maximus is more expensive and more rare, so yeah, this one, I think you can still get this pretty easily. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the P-Bandai exclusive HD EZSR Foxhound. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build, make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.